Across the culture, we are here celebrating different culture here at one place. Ladies and gentlemen, the very idea of Arunachal Pradesh has something which leads us to experience the land which is no different but is filled with different colors, with different cultures and new experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, today in this conference we are going to learn something more about that. We are going to experience the beauty of Arunachal Pradesh. And to do that, please put your hands together as I extend my warm welcome towards the Director of Tourism, Mr. Manjunath R. Ladies and gentlemen, on the stage to take you all through this beautiful journey and tell you more about Arunachal Pradesh tourism and tourism policy.
Tourism, Government of Arunachal Pradesh, respected Sri Mubin sir, Advisor to Honorable Minister of Tourism, Government of Arunachal Pradesh, respected Sri Nandanova sir, Secretary Tourism, distinguished media representatives, senior guests, senior officers, and guests, a very good afternoon. I'll be giving the names of Arunachal tourism to begin with, and also the present important highlights of new Arunachal tourism policy 2025 to 30. We have a policy period of 5 years. So, for any travel enthusiasts, when they come across this word Arunachal Pradesh, there is so much of nomenclatures or perceptions which is associated. The more I'm trying to categorize it into the more popular ones and also the ones which is the general descriptive feature of the state. Among the most popular ones includes on the right side, which is called the Arunachal Pradesh as the land of Dawn Lake Mountains. It is the land of the first rising sun. India's first rising sun we get to experience in the Rong Valley of Arunachal Pradesh. Apart from this, there are certain descriptive features about this state that the minute we say Arunachal Pradesh, it is we get to know that it is a non-distance state. There is a general perception that it is known for border tourism. It is a state which is bordering 3 international destinations, including Tibet, Bhutan, and Myanmar, and 2 Indian states of Assam and Nagaland, providing a wide opportunities for border tourism. And secondly, the adventure tourism. You name it, the list is law for adventure tourism, right from handling to hiking, mountain terrain biking, to the trekking trails and the jungle safari. The scope is so wide. And of course, it has a huge diversity which offers a lot of immersive travel experiences in terms of tribal tourism and culture. To talk about the large and diversity of the Arunachal Pradesh, the two more important aspects is diversity in terms of landscape and diversity in terms of culture and its traditions. In terms of landscape, I must say that I was coming across this reel which saying that if you want to visit snow-capped mountains, you need to visit this particular country. If you want to experience rivers, you visit this country. If you want to experience camels, you visit this country. But I would say if you want to visit all of this in one place, then come to Arunachal Pradesh. That is the diverse landscape that Arunachal Pradesh has to offer. We have 5 agroclimatic regions ranging from subtropicals to the subtropicals to the temperate grasslands and to the alpines. That is the wide landscape. In terms of ecotourism, also we have a lot of scopes. We have 14 wildlife sanctuaries, 3 tiger reserves, 2 national parks, and 1 biosphere reserve. In terms of cultural sites, we have Hiran Zongs and Manobam, the Golden Pagoda. In terms of natural sites, Sida Pass, Mexico Valley, and Zero Valley. For festivals, there are numerous number of local festivals. I come from the southern Indian state of Karnataka, but since my childhood, whatever the amount of festival that I have celebrated, I have celebrated more amount of such festival in my 5 months posting in Arunachal Pradesh. That is the diverse scope of local festivals in this state. So, in the perspective of Arunachal Pradesh tourism policy, with a policy period of 2025 to 30, the policy has a vision to position Arunachal Pradesh as a world-class tourism destination preserving its pristine landscape, rich tribal culture, and unique biodiversity. Topmost priority for strict and safety standards of the travelers. It aims to have a high value and low impact tourism and at the same time attract global travelers. The driving philosophy includes sustainability and creating more and more immersive travel experiences and encouraging more community participation. Tourism is a field where the direct beneficiaries will be the local community. This policy aims to promote the same. It has placed the highest standards for tourism safety and compliance. Enough focus has been given for cultural preservations and equitable regional growth along with high value tourism. Wine tourism. Under wine tourism, we have a lot of horticultural regions like kiwis grown and pineapples are grown, apples are grown, and there are numerous amount of small scale industries which would process these horticulture products into the wine. So under wine tourism, we are projecting the wine crafting experiences for the travel enthusiasts. Adventure tourism, like I said before, it has got wide scope ranging from hiking, trekking, jungle safaris, mountain terrain biking, paragliding, and numerous opportunities. Ecotourism, again, like I said before, a lot of opportunities in terms of national parks, tiger reserves, and biosphere reserves. Tribal tourism is an important aspect of the unique feature of Arunachal Pradesh. We have 23 major tribes with 100 plus other tribes, subsets of the tribes. And each of these tribes has a different language, different cuisines, culinary traditions, crafts, and inheritance, marriage practices. So much of diversity to offer to the travel enthusiasts who are more keen towards the cultural aspects of it. MICE tourism also, the policy places a significant incentive structure to attract meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition segment of the tourism. And border tourism with its 3 international boundary and 2 national state as it offers a wide scope in border. Creating an infrastructure becomes a pivotal thing promoting the tourism. In terms of infrastructure, developing sustainable tourism infrastructure is focused with the objective of upgrading road and air connectivity, wayside amenities, creating green buildings, providing signages at the tourist spots, and also to improve the transport facilities. Mandates registration for hotels, and also it has enough provisions to increase the carrying capacity by 50% in the accommodations space. In terms of creating wayside amenities, the policy suggests to conduct a baseline survey on its availability. The policy suggests to create more and more local communities to create these amenities and operationalize it and maintenance of these wayside amenities by the local communities.
Well, if you want to invite the gentleman here, guys, please give me words with all.
So first thing, dear friends, I would like to ask one thing. What is your image about Arunachal? When you first, think of going there. Anyone can, just answer my question. What do you think about Arunachal? When we talk about Arunachal, if you haven't visited Arunachal, what's your image? Serene and mystic. Peaceful destination. And what else? And? Not rain. Okay. You got it right actually. You get more rain in Australia actually. And anything else? Adventure. Right. I think you all know about Arunachal that I'm looking, I need to talk they were impressed. But when I interacted with you all, and I'm very happy to know that you all know about Arunachal, and everyone has got a different view about Arunachal, and which sums up together and makes one Arunachal, which my director has said. We have got everything. We have got something for everyone in Arunachal Pradesh. Be it culture, be it heritage, be it adventure, be it religious tourism, be it a getaway. So, Arunachal is one-stop destination. If you want to visit Arunachal and if you're clueless about what to go and what to see and what kind of things you want to do there, your brain will not get warm. You will get a very clear vision of Arunachal also there. And like I always say that Arunachal is not about tourism only. And if you talk about Arunachal, if you go beyond tourism, I always say that Arunachal is lung of the country. You have almost 70,000 square kilometers of forest cover. And people boast about saying, we have carbon negative, carbon neutral. But when we talk about Arunachal, we are carbon negative. We are giving oxygen to the country. So that is what Arunachal is all about. And now that we are here to promote Arunachal, we'll have a few videos we'll show it today or later in the evening. Right now. So that will also give you a small glimpse of Arunachal Pradesh. And if you want to, overburden you with a lot of Arunachal, we will slowly uncover Arunachal for you because little bit of everything gives more excitement. And Arunachal, like I always say, there's something we always talk about Arunachal in the past. We always say Arunachal was a hidden paradise. But it's no longer a hidden paradise. It's a well-known destination. But we want to make it more visible to the country, more visible to the visitors from abroad. So that's why we are here, and we want that you all become the partner to promote Arunachal at national and global level. And that's why we are here to showcase Arunachal and for our, how we see Arunachal and how you want to see Arunachal and keep it, Asian and the global, so that you have, international tourists as well. So today, I must thank all the media fraternities for coming here and witnessing the launch of our new tourism policy, which is a 360-degree policy, which our director has talked about, and we got into the detail. And during the press conference, press briefing, we will share more details about Arunachal, and you can have a in-depth knowledge about Arunachal. And what I would like to say is, we, as a state, we have got so much potentials to offer. Until and unless the media is there, will not be able to showcase our strength, our potential. You are our eyes and you are our ears. So thank you all for coming here and being part of this tourism policy launch at the new launch of Arunachal tourism. And we want to partner with you for all time to come future. And we're very, very thankful that you made time out of your busy schedule to be part of this launch of the new tourism policy. Thank you so much.
In that amount, so why?
I understand what you're trying to indicate. Yeah, I appreciate the question, but even for the local citizens, it's really been a big pain for us because the flight fares have been very, very high. So the only problem why we are facing this is there's only one operator right now. So obviously there's only one operator, the monopoly is there. So the government is in touch with the DGCA and the civil aviation here in the government of India to introduce more flights, maybe different airlines also. Once the competition comes in, obviously, because that's beyond our control. So the government has been talking to the central government to introduce more flights and the different airlines. So once we have more flights coming in, I think
that's what I believe. Like government and tourism department should
we
work
are
trying to bring down the prices
Yes.
for the flights.
So after that and the metro car racing, do you see any impact of these events being held in Arunachal?
Been, rather than 4 months now. So we will see maybe the impact in later in the year. But a lot of inputs Jeff got after this Atwai convention there in town. Obviously, it's going to benefit us a lot because during our policy preparation also, the inputs really came handy for us.
Any private, any kind of special incentives that are being planned for the private private investors and tour operators to help them, of course, promote the main and offbeat destinations in the state.
So the biggest bottleneck when it comes to investment in Arunachal was our industry policy. So tourism is also industry now, so we had to go by the industry policy. So this time in the cabinet we had a meeting saying that the major, like I said, the bottleneck was the land ownership. Because for an outsider you cannot buy a land. So this policy now we have asked the government to change the policy for a long-term lease. So that is as good as having a free road. So that's one of the issue. And we talk about, like in the policy also we talked about single use of ease of doing business. Those are already there, and we're seeking suggestions from the private investor case-to-case basis and how they want it to be. So we obviously want it to be tailor-made, so that we bring in as many investment as possible. Like we always say that Honorable Prime Minister also says government has got no business to do business. So we have tried from the government and we have tried to create a lot of infrastructure, but it never worked out the way we wanted it. So the private investment is the answer because there will be a lot of ownership. Until and unless the private investors come in, we do see much of a headway in the beautiful and more effective infrastructure in the tourism industry. That's with the Tata Group, and also already one Tata Group is operating in Tawang, in Itana also there's another one under construction, and smaller those boutique hotel chains are also we are discussing with them, to create more smaller boutique hotel chains in different tourist destinations. So for that, we like if you see whenever we have any kind of tourism event, or for that matter any kind of textile handicraft event across the country, we make sure that our cuisine is also part of the event. Last time if you see we had a GI festival, GI festival here in Delhi, which we had it in and starting. So there, along with the GI festival, we promoted tourism and the local cuisine, the culinary thing. So that way, almost every tourism event we try to promote our textile, handicraft, and cuisine together. So that's why we get a lot of visibility. A lot of people have started learning about the Arunachal cuisine. So so a lot of cities we have started having Arunachal food being served as a one of the main, what do you call that, dishes. Creativity, how we express Arunachal out of the whole thing. And this new logo tells a story. Earlier was like a lot of elements, a lot of characters. If you see there's a tree, there's a mountain, there's a sun, there's a river. People would think, whether it's a kind of a child's drawing or a kind of logo which you want to express. So we thought logo should be minimalist, more expressive, easier to connect with. So that was the reason we thought we should launch a new logo, so that it's more visible and it's more tangible to the people.
More for travelers to explore. This is when you talked about everybody's experience in Arunachal, all about Arunachal. Everybody mentioned serene landscapes, mountains, and everything. But the tagline says beyond myths and mountains. So I would like an understanding about that.
That's what I was trying to understand from the media fraternity, that what you think about Arunachal when you talk about Arunachal, or when you think about Arunachal. A lot of people say Arunachal is just a mountainous, with maybe snows and a lot of myths about Arunachal. Because until and until you go and experience there, you will not understand. So Arunachal, like you say, beyond myths and mountains. It's just not about the mountains and the myths surrounding Arunachal. So the answer has been given by our media fraternities when I ask what you think about Arunachal. They're talking about adventure, they're talking about peaceful state, they're talking about culture, they're talking about even ecotourism. So that is Arunachal. So that's what we say. We have got bag full of goodies to offer you. That's about beyond myths and mountains. Happens to be
Okay, listen, I asked this question because whenever one promotes a tourist destination, there are going to be offbeat places also that are going to be there. Right? So once we start promoting the offbeat places, the question related to over-tourism always comes into play. Which is why I'm always worried and curious about the over-tourism aspect. I'm sure that's...
Obviously, your concern is
yeah.
The same concern we also have. I always advocate that, you don't want a tourist, who come and spend $100 and give a package of $200. That is the main concept for us. That was on a light note that, we are not worried about it. But obviously that's a big worry for every one of us. Talking about high impact, high volume, low impact, So those are the things we are actually working on. We have seen other tourist destinations, how it's suffering. And we just can't go and visit all those places. We want to name it, all know about those places. So we don't want to repeat that kind of problem in our state. So we are very, very careful about it. But as of now, we are growing, so we don't see much of a clear and present danger when it comes to overcome. Thank you.
So, how you are tackling that issue? Do you have any plans to connect the different important destinations by air or something by tying up with a helicopter operator or some small airline operator?
Yeah, very valid actually question, because intra-state travel was a big challenge those days. And when you talk about Arunachal, it's such a huge state. And we're almost 85,000 square kilometers. And all the beautiful exotic destinations are far away from each other. But now we have at least 5 advanced landing grounds. And under the UDAN and RCS program, this all are being covered. So now in the national budget also they have mentioned about strengthening the RCS and UDAN project. So a lot of airstrips are being developed for civil operation in the first place. And we already have the helicopter services. And when you talk about the road journey, earlier the place which used to take around 7 to 8 hours, now it takes around 2.5 to 3 hours. And you would be happy or surprised to hear from Longing, one corner of Arunachal Pradesh to Tawang, another corner of Arunachal Pradesh, we are having supercars zooming now. If you see the supercars are zooming from Longing to Tawang, that shows that how beautiful the intra-state road condition has become. So that way, the travel time is also being